Hello! This past month I worked on a lot of knit and crochet projects, and I'm here today to show you what I've worked on. I want to give two caveats at the beginning of this really quickly. Updates. One, yes, I cut all my hair off. It was time. The next update will also help explain why I did it. But during this month, I was let go from my job that I had had almost 6 years. And before you feel bad for me or whatnot, it was one of the best things that's ever happened to me. Unfortunately, I had to sign a settlement saying I can't really speak about it. But I will just leave you with, I am so much happier and healthier now that I am not working that job. It was toxic. So I had a lot of time to craft this month and it felt great. And I'm most likely going to continue to have a lot of time to craft in the month of April. Sit down, maybe get some tea. I have a chai here with me and let's go. I have 3 finished projects from this month, which I did notice I had 3 finished projects in February as well. I don't remember how many I had in January, to be honest, but I feel like having 3 garments is amazing for a month. I think in April it might be more because when I show you my whips, quite a few of them are really close to being finished. And I actually, like, the past few days have been like actively trying to finish as many things as I could, but I burnt myself out and I ended up not being able to craft the last 2 days of the month. Additionally, I was exhausted and my body was hurting. So I have these 3 items that we'll talk about first. And then I have quite a few whips for us to talk about. And then I will, like always, give some chats about future plans, some yarn I might have hauled this month. Because of no longer having a job and a steady income, I have not hauled much yarn, which is fine because I honestly wanted to not be buying much yarn. However, there were a few things that I bought before I was let go from my job, so I can talk about those things that have arrived because there's one package that hasn't arrived yet, and I'm so sad because I desperately want to do that project. But we'll still talk about that project and I can explain what yarn I bought and what I'm thinking. I don't remember. No, I do remember the order I made these in. So, oh no. The first thing I did this month was I knit my first ranunculus top, which is a very popular pattern online. I'm sorry, I can't figure out how to hold this. Hold up. This is a very popular pattern. Lots of people have made it. I did the short sleeve because I only had 1 skein of this yarn. This is the Hobby Tea Time in the color Peppermint Tea. And when I bought it, I could only see this like teal color and the yellow and the brown. And so I thought it was going to be very much just those colors. And as I was knitting it up, I realized there was pink in it. And while I'm okay with pink, obviously I'm wearing it now, I didn't like how it looked in this top. So the ranunculus is a circular yoke with a texture pattern, which after I finished, I realized my eyelet here is not lined up. Too bad, I'm not going back and fixing that. And in the pattern, you can make a short sleeve, a long sleeve, you can make the body as long as you want. I mean, that's true for any pattern really, but I had heard so many popular things about this top and how easy it was, how quick it was, and how little yarn you had to use to make it. And so I had never really had interest in making this top. I had seen it on Ravelry, but after watching some videos, I finally decided to make one. And I really like it, minus that pink. And so I have twice now attempted to dye this top, and as you can see, no dye was taken. I first attempted to dye it with Rit Synthetic in, I think it was like Plum Berry, and it looked like it was taking the dye, but no. And then I thought, well, maybe the problem, I know this is 100% acrylic, but maybe the problem is that I used the synthetic. I don't know, but I had some of the black in the non-synthetic dye, so I tried that. This is not black. So I have done some research. I'm gonna attempt at least one more try on this based on the research that I have done. I think I might be able to get it on the 3rd, maybe 4th try. Hold on, I have something in my eyeball. Essentially, I really like how this shirt fits me, but I'm not going to wear it with these colors. And I'd very much like to be able to wear it because I'm actually going to show you a second ranunculus next. And I used a fingering weight yarn on that one because that's just what I had. And it's a lot more see-through. And so that one I'm going to have to wear like over something. Whereas this one is loose enough that it'll be airy, beautiful for wearing in my Florida summers. However, it's not so see-through that I couldn't just get away with wearing a bra underneath it. So I'm super bummed about this. However, I do love to knit and I do love to create. So if this continues to be a pain, I'm only giving it maybe 2 other tries. One for sure, maybe a second one. And if it doesn't die, then I'm going to be giving it to someone, don't know who yet, and just calling it a day because I can't. I can just re-knit this in colors I like, which I have already done. Let me show you the second one, which actually wasn't my second project that I finished, but we're already talking about it. So I have not tied my ends in. However, this is my second ranunculus top. And I did things differently on this one. I'll show you closer up. It's hard to see. However, I didn't follow the eyelet pattern and I didn't follow there's a certain row where you have to purl and then slip with yarn in front. And I really liked how that row looked on my first ranunculus. So I continued to do that row throughout in a kind of a gradient. I know you're not gonna be able to see it super well, but like the first 2 are really close together and then maybe 1 inch and then maybe 2 inches and then maybe 4 inches. And I didn't have enough yarn to keep doing it like all the way down. Well, I wouldn't have had the space. 8 inches was too low is what I'm trying to say. I had a wonderful time working on this. I haven't tried it on since I blocked it, but when I first wore it, it was incredibly short on me. And that is because I ran out of yarn. I bought a sock set on Etsy and I thought that it would be enough. However, clearly it was not. It's very short top. Let me actually like hold them up next to each other. Do you see the difference? I already knew though when I started this, when I saw how like open this gauge was, that I was going to have to wear this over top of something most of the time. I think there are certain occasions I could get away with not, but those are far and few in between. So I finished it. I still need to tie in the ends if you haven't seen those. I definitely prefer this one more. As you can see, I kind of kept the colors similar to what I was wanting from the other one. So already this is like vibing more than what I was having with the other one. I did run out of yarn while I was binding off. And so there is a section in the bind off where I had to just add in a fingering weight like cream yarn. It was the best option I had to match because it doesn't exactly match, but it blends enough with this yellow color that like, look from right here, I feel like you can't even tell at all. I really like how these colors go together. Again, this was a sock set. So this is a wool nylon combination of yarn and I'm really interested to see how that's going to feel wearing it, because if that works out well for me, I have want to use sock yarn in other garment projects, other tops, other sweaters. I don't know for sure if I'll do sweaters, but it has a lovely stretch to it because of that nylon, and I feel like it's going to be really durable because the yarn was made to be worn on your feet all the time. I loved this. I had a great time doing it. I need to tie my ends like I said, but it is already blocked, and then I get to start wearing it. Eee! And then the actually second thing that I created this month was this crochet vest. And unfortunately I did not follow a pattern, but essentially what I did is I started at the bottom. Sorry, no, I started at the bottom. I made a circle, well, I didn't close it, that was big enough to go around my body. And then I created a repetitive stitch pattern that I liked the look of. And I just kept doing that until I got to the armholes, and then I continued doing the back up, and at some point though I did add on a few extra stitches so the back would go like this, and then I didn't include some stitches so the armhole would be bigger, and then I just did a V-neck up the front. So you can see where I kind of stopped adding stitches and then just had like where my shoulder would be. I did add in buttons onto this, which is the first time I've ever done that on a project. Can't believe I'm saying that. I knit the button band, which I had to do like 4 or 5 times. It was incredibly difficult for me to figure out what I was supposed to be doing. And unfortunately on the side with the buttonholes, I did go back and like wrap the yarn around the buttonholes. I have this one that I need to tie in and then that's it, so that they would be more distinct because I felt like they were just blending in. And when I did that, I realized I had accidentally done 7 buttonholes instead of 6, which 6 was how many buttons I had. So most of the buttons look like this, and then I just have one at the top that doesn't quite match. However, I feel like as a whole, you don't notice it. And also, if I was gonna have any of them not match, it was gonna be the top one. And I could have, yes, left one of them off, but it just felt weird to do that, especially because I really wanted that like topmost button. Now, I have some complaints about this. One, the buttons don't really stay super well in the buttonhole. Part of why I was wrapping the yarn around there was to secure it more. And I know, of course, right now that I'm trying to show you, they're gonna all stay. Was to try to make the hole smaller. That's what I was trying to do. So I attempted that. It did make it better, made it loads better, but it's still not great. So I don't know if I'll be able to wear this closed or not. My second complaint is I love purple. I really do. I mean, this shirt I'm wearing is kind of a pink purple. I know I just like trashed on pink and now I'm about to trash on purple. Guys, I promise I like those colors and I do wear them. I just don't think this is the right shade for me. I'll put it on really quickly. Part of my problem might be that I finished this, which is a wool and acrylic blend. It's the macchiato cake and whatever the purple color is I finished it leading into summer. Basically, Florida's already in summer, if I'm being honest. We're like pre-summer, which I know most people call spring, but I feel like we don't even really get a spring here. So we're already hitting 80s most days and 90s a few days. We had a random day like earlier this week where the high was like 72 and it was like the nicest day I've had in a while. So part of the problem might be that this is just more of a winter piece and so I'm not feeling it right now. But there's something about it that I am just not feeling. And I don't really know what it is other than me just saying it's the color, which doesn't feel quite right. But I was looking through my closet and I was looking, because this would be a layered piece, and I was looking at all of my other layered pieces and they're all a lot darker than this piece. It's either like white, yellow, like this kind of mustard yellow here, or it's like more jewel tones, darker colors. So I felt like this piece wasn't gonna fit anything I have in my closet. And so while I really like it, I get the feeling I'm not gonna hang on to it forever. So I don't know what's gonna happen with it. I wish I was happier with that. It took me literally one day to do. I started mid-morning and I just worked on it throughout the day. It is like a pretty, I think it's considered a bulky yarn. I would probably call it more of like an Aran, but whatever, they call it bulky. And I was using a large hook. I don't remember which hook it was, but it was either a 6.5 or a 7mm. So like, yeah, it went pretty quickly. But maybe I'll try to remake it in a color I know I love. But then if I don't like that, then it was kind of a waste of time. My original thought was possibly I could make a pattern for it for people. However, the idea of grading patterns right now seems so overwhelming. So I just need to like watch some videos or read some articles about how people do that. And I know it won't feel so overwhelming. I need to charge my camera for like 10 minutes. So if in the next clip I am in a slightly different position, that's why. Welcome back. Now we're going to talk about all of the whips that I worked on this month. I have about 10 active whips and 3 that are hibernated. And so just to clarify one more time, we're not talking about all of them. We're just going to talk about the ones that I worked on in this past month. Okay, he's ready to go. Adios. And I'm not going to go in a particular order because I can't. I don't feel like it. Whatever. Sorry, I'm making sure I have my list ready. The first one we're going to talk about is my Eclipse of Moths sweater. I made a lot of progress this month. I did both sleeves, so all I have left is the body. Now, this is a pattern that I bought on Ravelry. I absolutely love it. I love how this looks. Take a look. This is my first color work project. And I think this was actually the third sweater that I casted on. However, I finished some other ones that I casted on later, and I haven't finished this first. That is mostly because I did the color work so incredibly tight that I was getting pain in my knuckle joint on my thumb. Like so incredibly bad. So I just kept putting this down and then kind of being afraid to work on it because I didn't want to be in pain. But I finally realized my problem was how tight I was knitting. I think my brain was like trying to just be so in control of the color work. So I did block this color work and one sleeve. I don't know how well it'll show up. No, you can see there's like an inch difference maybe, because I wanted to kind of relax this a little bit and see like what length I was going to have. And then I knit the other sleeve and now I just have to do the body. Now, because I've done some other projects since I started this, I was very closely following the pattern until I finished the color work sections. And then I decided to just do what I know I like to wear, how it fits me. So after the yoke section, I did a couple of rows of a raglan increase. That was something that I had done in the ranunculus top and I just really liked how it looked. So I don't know how many rows it was, maybe 4. And then I am just doing the sleeves however I want. I really like this kind of longer ribbing and I really like a little bit straight. I did decrease, as you can see, quite a bit in some areas, but this is the look that I like, and so this is the look I was going for. For the body, I haven't fully made up my mind what I'm going to do. Right now I'm thinking about doing something similar to my Oon sweater where I like have a split rib, and have a pretty long split rib. I, on my Oon sweater, specifically split right at the smallest point of my waist so that it would like flow over my like hips. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I don't know, like I am really not sure. The actual pattern is just like a normal straight with then some ribbing, so I might do something like that. Not totally sure. I do want to call out here really quickly, working on this has inspired me to design my own color work pattern. Again, I don't know if it'll just be for me or for everyone, but that is something that I know we're not at the section of the video yet to talk about this, but that is something that I am hoping to work on in April and, you know, at least get through the color work section. Don't know if that'll happen, but additionally, I'd also really like to finish this project in April. I'm having a good time working on it, so I don't think that'll be a big problem. The reason I haven't put my needles back on this is because my 4.5s, which is what I need, are currently being used, both of them, in a different project, which I will show next. And I'm at a point where soon I'm going to be able to just go back to one needle. So once I do that, I'm going to put the other ones back on here and I think I'll just try to knock it out. Very excited about that. So the other project that I'm working on that I just mentioned is using my 4.5s. I decided to treat myself before I learned that I had no more money coming in and buy some, oh, you can't really see it, but Malabrigo worsted in the color Uva. I actually bought 3 colors. I don't exactly know what I'm going to do with the other 2. However, this is the coffee cardigan and I have done one of the front panels. I love that color. It's gorgeous. I misread the pattern, so I do need to go back. I legit was questioning why this was the only bit of the back I had done, but they said to cut the yarn. No, I somehow skipped a whole paragraph and I'm supposed to have like basically all of this but on the back. I'm actively working on this. I did set this down because I was excited to work on some other things that you're gonna see, but I would like to pick this up because, girls, they were not lying when they talked about Malabrigo being some of the nicest yarn ever. This is the first time I'm using it and I am obsessed. I'm in love. I was warned on my video where I showed that I hauled this. It was a short. I know I did it on TikTok. I don't know if I posted it on YouTube, but someone warned me that like I'm not going to want to use any other yarn ever again, and I understand now why they said that. It's like so strong but stretchy but soft. It's creamy almost. I am obsessed. It's out of my price range to like buy all the time. However, I do have my eye on one specific color. I was told that the Rios, which is the same worsted size, but apparently it doesn't felt as much. Not felt, sorry. Oh, what's the word? What is the word? Okay, I'm gonna have to put the word here because I'm blanking. I can't think of it right now. Oh my god, this is so annoying. It pills. It pills. They're saying that the worsted pills more than the Rios, and I honestly don't care. I don't mind pilling a ton. Like sometimes it's kind of annoying when it's like a lot underneath your armpits, but you can just shave it. And so the color I want doesn't come in the Rios, it only comes in the worsted. So I'm gonna have to get worsted again. But at some point in my life, I'd like to try the Rios because everyone talks about it. Yeah, obsessed with this. Can't believe how much fun this pattern is. Highly recommend it. Okay, we're gonna be done talking about that now. I'm missing something. Give me a second. I'm not really sure what to call this project. I have been studying yoke designs very intensely. I have quite a few knitting books that I've been reading through about them. I've been watching YouTube videos. I've been reading articles because I wanted to know how to knit a yoke with any yarn weight, with a circular yoke, I should say, with any yarn weight, with any needle size. I wanted to be able to understand how to go from my neck, how many increases I needed to do around my bust, how often I should do those increases, which rows I should do increases in. And I am so much more informed now. I can happily say that I made this with all of my knowledge. Now, it's not finished, Avi. It's definitely inspired by the ranunculus top, with the fact that it is a circular yoke that goes into a couple of rows of raglan increases. Now, that is really the only thing that is the same about this and the ranunculus. This is all stockinette, and I'll talk about the yarn in a second, but I have just split 4 sleeves, and I'm just leaving my sleeves like this. They're gonna be like a short sleeve, and this is just gonna be a top. I have a little bit more of the yarn that I'm currently using, and then I have 4 more balls. It's going, oh my goodness, I just threw one. Oh, I just dropped one. Oh my god, I'm a mess. These are the other 4 colors. Oh, you can't really see the, there you go, it has some speckles. These are the other 4 colors. Once I run out of yarn, I run out of yarn, and that'll be the end of this project, kind of like the sock weight ranunculus. But I'm hoping this will be long enough that it can be a top. So this is all a DK weight yarn that I bought from an Etsy shop because I really liked the gradient. I'm checking if I have the, I do not have the thank you card. No, this is it. I'm pretty sure this is it. I believe it's from Gem State Yarns and Notions, and the colorway was called Midnight Masquerade. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if this was supposed to be a sock yarn or what. They all came in, I think these are, was it 20 gram balls? I don't know, but there were 11 of these, and she has them in like a perfect gradient. It's a DK weight, like I said. I'm using a 7mm needle, and I'm really loving the drape, the flow, the stretch, everything. I don't know what, I know the yarn has wool in it. I can't remember if it's 100% wool. I'm going to pull up some details about it. Okay, the shop, I got it right. They're taking a quick break while I'm reading this. It says there are 10 colors. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I guess there are. I swear I counted 11, but there's 10. But because they're taking a quick break, I can't like view any details. Oh, here we go. See item details. Okay, so it is primarily wool with nylon, available in 100 grams, which are the full skeins, 50 grams, which are the half skeins, 20 grams, which are the mini skeins, and 10 grams, which are the micro skeins. And I don't remember which one I bought. I also started a new crochet project that I'm having a really fun time with. One of my goals for this year was to find a cotton yarn that I like working with. And so one of the yarns that I bought to try is the Hobby Friends Cotton in the 8 out of 6. And I believe this color is called Sage. It's color 114. And so I am working on a crochet cardigan. I don't exactly know if it's gonna be long sleeve, short sleeve, what, but I thought with the cotton it would be very nice, very oversized as you can see. The front is going to be a V-neck, so that's what it's like. I only have the back and one shoulder done. It's obviously paneled. I have started the second. This is as far as I've gotten. My yarn is being a mess. What I will do is after I get the second front panel finished, I will attach it. I will try it on, make some decisions, and then I will do the sleeves however long I want them off of the body of the project. I'm enjoying this. I actually really like the feeling of this cotton. I don't think I would enjoy knitting with it. I'm starting to find out that there are some yarns that I enjoy knitting with, there are some yarns I enjoy crocheting with, and then there are some yarns I enjoy doing both with. But the both with is a very small category. Like, I'm using the Impeccable Loops and Threads yarn on my Eclipse of Moth sweater, and I think it's the last time I'm gonna knit with that yarn. Ah, the cat's back. I think that's the last time I'm gonna knit with that yarn. I'm not a huge fan of how it feels knitting, but I love it for crochet. So, do you wanna go? He does not wanna leave, sorry. I thought he wanted to leave. Oh, he wants, I have a dirty plate next to me because I just finished eating lunch, which he did want to leave. What a loser. What a loser. Yeah. You're so stinky. You're so stinky and dumb. And in the realm of crochet, I don't even think I have this one on Ravelry yet. Oops, that's not good. So I don't know when I started this project. However, I am doing a hexagon cardigan where the back is 3 granny squares. I just blocked this part, so it's a little bit, it's dry, but it's a little bit stretched. 3 granny squares that are like stars, and then I have 2 more. I haven't finished them yet because I'm afraid I'm going to run out of the black yarn, so I'll just continue with the blue. That are going to be the pockets on the front. This is what it's looking like. The rest of it is all black. I just blocked it because I wanted to see like where the sleeves were going to be hitting me so I could have a more accurate sleeve length, especially because I'm not planning on doing any ribbing on the sleeve. I think I just want it to be open. I am basically using all scrap yarn. I had quite a few of these Loops and Threads Impeccable in black that I didn't know what to do with, and I was going to sell them on Depop, and then I realized I might as well try to crochet something with them. And so I had years ago had a Star Moon Sun hexagon cardigan, or was it a sweater, that I didn't like the fit of, and so I never wore it. I eventually got rid of it. I don't remember if I sold it or if I just donated it or what. And so I thought this would be a good replacement. However, I didn't realize when I was working on it, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Oh yeah, you can see it. There's 2 different blacks here. I think one of the blacks that I was using, I didn't have a label on it, and I think it was a different yarn. So that's fun. I really don't mind it though, because this is just gonna be something more casual anyways. My plan, here, I'll try it on for you guys real quick. My next few steps are going to be arms, and then I need to do some work around the neckline and stuff so that that top square isn't so squished. And then I think maybe I am going to extend it just like a little bit, like an inch or 2. I feel like in the back it's really high, whereas in the front it's like really low. So I don't know exactly like what I'm going to be doing to fix that, but I will be fixing it. And then I would like to do a knit ribbing. I don't exactly know what my plan is for that, like if I'm gonna actually have buttons or not or what. I just know I prefer knit ribbing, and I'm not going to do it all the way around the neck. I would probably come up to about here and then just leave it open. So there's that. This was also completely self-drafted. I mean, I learned how to do the hexagon cardigan pattern a long time ago, and then I looked at references of stars, but I ended up kind of doing my own thing on the star, and then I also didn't have to re-reference the hexagon cardigan pattern because I just know how to do it. Hi baby, he's back. He's sitting on my whips now. And I want to say no, we have 2 more things to talk about. Kelsey, you can't be right here right now. I'm filming. He wants that plate. Go bother your brother. He's sleeping. I bought this yarn a while ago, not knowing what I was going to do with it. It is the Quince & Co. Willet yarn in the color Sloop. It is 100% Texas cotton. It's actually quite soft, and I do like working with it. The pattern I decided to do with it is called Staffin'. Just Staffin' completely, because when you buy the pattern, it's by the Crochet. It comes with a couple of options. So you can make a short sleeve or no sleeve top. You can make a sweater. You can make a cardigan straight down, or a cardigan that's a V-neck. You can make a vest that's straight down, that's open, or a vest that has no opening, that's kind of like a sleeveless top, or you can make a V-neck vest. I decided that I was going to make a V-neck cardigan, something that I have never done before, but I thought it would be worth the challenge. And I love the color of this yarn. I know I would wear this a lot. So I've started on the top. This is what it will be when we finish here. I just got a little bit overwhelmed with everything. I'm not gonna lie. There's just a lot going on. If you look at the pattern, it's beautiful. I'm going to be working on it. However, I felt like in the moment of me, this was about one evening of work. I felt like in the moment I needed to just set it down and come back to it later. So I will be doing that. I don't think I'll finish it in April, but I'd like to finish it before like the really hot summer months. Ooh, I just saw two crows attack a hawk, a red-tailed hawk. That's so weird because yesterday I was at someone else's house and I saw a crow and a hawk fighting as well. Am I cursed? I don't know. So I'll go back to this. I'll keep working on it. But this was my first time doing like a textured all over pattern. Well, I mean, I did that with the coffee cardigan as well, but I had started this first. And this is my first time doing a cardigan in knitting, which that part didn't really stress me out too much. But this is my first time doing a V-neck in knitting. I totally understand what I'm doing. It just feels like a lot. And there's a couple of spots I'm not good yet at increasing purl wise. I think I'm doing it wrong, to be honest. I need to watch some more videos. But every single time I have to increase purl wise, I get a hole. So obviously I'm doing something wrong. And then there's some holes over here. I think in the grand scheme of things, those holes aren't going to bother me. Like you can't tell when it's back here. When I have the whole thing together, it's not going to be that noticeable. But I'm not going to be winning any awards on this project. So yeah, having a good time. We'll be back at that soon. Just felt overwhelmed, and I've learned that if I'm starting to feel overwhelmed, I'm going to start hating things, and it's better for me just to take a break, take a breath, and come back to it. Because I was feeling overwhelmed on another project that I did recently. I don't remember which one. And I set it down for a long time, and when I came back to it, I felt much better doing it, and I felt like I could actually accomplish it. So I know that I can do it. It's just a matter of maybe not right now. And then the final whip that we will talk about is I decided to cast on the Lakes Cardigan V-neck. I hope I got all of that right. Yes, by Ozetta. If you know of the Lakes pullover, this is basically the same pattern, except it's the cardigan and it's a V-neck, and I'm having a good time doing it. I worked on this a lot the other day, as you can see. The reason why I wanted to do this was I wanted to learn how to do a saddle construction, saddle shoulder construction. And so I didn't love, honestly, the look of the Lakes pullover. I think it was the neckline, and yes, I could do a different neckline. However, when I saw the Lakes cardigan, I loved everything about it, so why not do this instead? And additionally, when I bought this pattern, I also bought the Road pullover, I want to say is what it's called. And so I do plan on doing that, maybe not next, but very soon. This yarn is Macchiato Cake in the color Whisper. I have quite a bit of this because for a while when I only knew how to crochet, I was just buying macchiato cakes because I love them. I'm not done with this one yet, but I am continuing. And hold up, let me show you. There's one spot on here where I had to purl increase and there's a hole. So I'm definitely doing something wrong. It's like the make one left, make one right purls. Those are the ones that I have problems with. Let's talk about my acquisitions and my plans for April. You already saw the one yarn that I received this month. On top of that, I also got enough of the Silky Merino in the color Archangel that I'm aiming to do either a top or a vest with this. Love those colors. And I also bought enough of the, in the same Malabrigo worsted This is the color Amphibian, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I'm obsessed. I saw it online and my brain literally went, oh my god, that's so ugly, I need to have it. And in person, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Like, I knew it would be. I love it. It's so soft. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I have a hard time with like color changing yarn like that because I don't necessarily want it to be a textured project. I just don't love that look. I have two other things that I acquired this month. I got this sock set. These are 10 mini skeins called the Monet Collection, and it is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and I don't even want to say the name of this company. It's called the 6 and 7 fiber, and these are the colors. Gorgeous. I love it so much. Monet is one of my favorite painters of all time. If you've been around for a long time on my channel, you know that. You know I've made a few pieces inspired by him. So I'm thinking about making another like ranunculus inspired top with this yarn. It's so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. I haven't opened it up yet, but there's a little hole right here. Because I am afraid to take it out, to be honest. It looks so good all together. So there's that. Oh, each skein is 20 grams, which is 87 yards. So I have 200 grams or 870 yards total. So it'll have to be a short sleeve top for me. I can't wait to do it. Ah! And then the next thing, I'm gonna have to move some stuff to get to it. I bought some more Charisma yarn. So this is Drops Charisma, and this is in the color 39, which I believe is called like Dark Old Rose. I have enough of this. My plan is to do the Storm Sweater by Petite Knit. Drops is 100% wool, and it is a superwash treated wool. It's very inexpensive. I would say it is kind of rough. It's not the softest yarn. However, I've only finished one project with this yarn before and I felted it. I wore it once and it was mixed with the brushed alpaca silk yarn. If you want to hear that story, it was all in last month's video. So I haven't experienced Charisma by itself against my skin. However, I've read a lot about it online, and from everything I've read from people who also have like wool sensitivity or allergies like me, washing this will make it softer. So that's what I'm hoping for. I love this color. I think this is gonna be so gorgeous once I finish it. I don't think I'm gonna be getting to that this month, to be honest. That feels like a long shot. However, I wanted to show you the yarn that I got in order to do it. And then the last yarn that I ordered before everything went down with my work hasn't arrived yet, which actually I meant to check my emails today because I don't check my mailbox every single day, and there is a chance it is downstairs. Oh, I do have an email from them, and it's to tell me that they're not going to have the yarn. I believe, though, I have to go look at that order because I believe that I ordered something else in that order, and so it might be the other thing that I ordered. Let me check. The order hasn't shipped, obviously, because they don't have one of the items in it. However, they're not letting me see which item in it is not coming. So we'll just talk about this project for a little bit, and then I will figure this out on my own. I saw, as many people probably did, on the Ravelry homepage, this pattern. I was obsessed as soon as I saw it. I loved how it looked, how I feel like it felt, because I didn't actually get to feel it, and I really loved that it felt like a Western, like, horse girl cardigan. I rode horses for 12 years, excuse my phone, and I love them. I love them so much, and so I thought this would be a gorgeous cardigan to add to my collection. What I wanted to do with it is I really love this dark chocolate brown that they have. I love the cream. I decided I wanted to have like a pale jean blue instead of the dark black, and that is because, one second please, it's downstairs. Oh, there's a cat in my way. You want to come with me? Come on. He's beating me. My favorite band in the world is Motherfolk. It's not gonna load, is it? Come on, camera. There we go. And I got this shirt from them a while ago, and I wear it a lot, and I love it. It has the horse theme, right, that we're going with. It has the chocolate brown, it has the cream, and then it has the blue that I'm looking for, right? Right. So I wanted to kind of have a nod towards this shirt. This shirt isn't like a design that they have on an album or anything, but I really like it. I wear it a lot. My cat, I guess, is here now. Kelsier, you're blocking my sunlight. Fine, have an attitude. He's giving me a look. Oof. I've already bought the buttons for this cardigan as well. If I can find them, I will show them to you. And all I was waiting on was the yarn to arrive. I have a crazy button collection. One day I'd love to give a tour of it. But these are the buttons that I kind of sniffing them. Can you see his head? These are the buttons that I plan on using. I feel like they're so like horse girl coated. I love them. I love them so much. So that's one of my plans. I now don't know if I'll be able to do this in April because I don't know when this yarn is arriving. But if not April, May for sure. And I was planning on using, let me pull up the order. I was going to use a mix of Drops Air. I have Drops Air and Drops Sky on here, but then I also have Nordic Sky. So I think I was planning on using Drops Sky in Blue Jean, Nordic Sky in a few colors, and then I think the Drops Air was for a different project. Yeah, because it says it's moss green. Unfortunately, I can't see the colors in this order form, which is so annoying. I will see what happens. I'm gonna have to figure that out on my own though. I'm gonna move you a little bit because he is like on top of you. Okay, that gave us a little bit more space. So that's one of my project plans for this month. I also have found that I really, really, really want to make an all over textured sweater. Now, I have been looking at a lot of free patterns recently, obviously not bringing in any money. I need to kind of find that solution. And one that I found that I am in love with was from the Hobby website, and it's called the Homestead Sweater. It's a worsted weight sweater, which I do have some worsted weight yarn here. I have a couple of different options and I haven't decided yet which I'm gonna do. Originally, I was leaning towards a blue color, like a navy, but I think that navy isn't gonna show the pattern super well. So I'm now kind of leaning towards, I have like an off-white leaning gray color, like a bone color that could work. I could obviously do the worsted Malabrigo yarn that I have, but again, I don't know how I feel about that with it being like color changing. And I have some other options, so I don't know which yarn I'm gonna use for that, but I'd like to get that started this month. And I don't even want to say it, to be honest, because I've said it every month for the last 3 months, but I'm finally going to start my crane dance cardigan. I'm going to do it this month. I'd like to get through the colorwork section if nothing else, but boy, I need to do it. I want that cardigan so bad. I've talked about it for so long and then just never started it. I have the pattern, I have the yarn, finally. Why am I not doing it? It's because I keep starting other things. My goals for April, work through as many whips as I can. I'd like to not have 10 plus 3 hibernating at the end of the month. I also, hello, where are you going? What's you doing? He's being weird. I also would like to finish at least 3 projects. I mean, I'm gonna have to finish more than 3 if I want those to be, you know, all my whips to be finished. And I think I will, because a lot of those that I showed you, they're close to being finished. If I literally just finish my knockoff ranunculus, my black hexie cardigan, and my eclipse of moths, that's 3. So maybe I should aim higher. Maybe I should aim for like 5 projects being finished, because then if I cast on 3, that's the thing, is I'm hoping to cast on at least 3. So I need to finish a lot. Okay, backing up. Goals for April. Finish as many whips as I possibly can. I'd like to end April with less whips than I currently have. Second goal, start the 3 projects that I actually mentioned here. The Homestead, the Zozia, I think is what it's called, and the Crane Dance cardigan. I'd like those at least started. I might also start the Loopy Stripe Cardi, but that is not as big of a goal. And then 3, buy no yarn. Buy no yarn. I think it's not that hard of a deal. Actually, oh my goodness, I forgot. I did order some yarn the other day that hasn't arrived yet because I needed it to finish a project that I've started. And so there might be a secret 4th goal, which is, I've already talked a little bit about it, design my own color work chart. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love for you to stick around and watch some of my future videos. I am loving knitting and crochet, obvious. And I am releasing videos at least weekly right now because I have the time finally in my life to be able to do that. So again, you like the content, I'd love it if you hang out. Leave a comment down below on what project you're working on, or if you have a video where you talk about projects that you've finished recently. I'd love to see it. And I have a playlist for, this is the third video like this that I've done, but you can watch all of them in the playlist. I will have it linked. And I will have all of the patterns that I mentioned linked down below as well. So I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you stick around for more videos soon.